In the quiet of a suburban morning, as the first light of dawn began to creep through the curtains, I found myself standing over my sister's bed, my heart pounding like a drum in my chest. Her name was Lily, and she was more than just my sister. She was my best friend, my confidante, and the person who knew me better than anyone else in the world. But today, everything was about to change. I had woken up with a secret burning inside me, a secret that had been simmering for years but had finally boiled over. I couldn't keep it in any longer. I needed to tell her the truth, that I was in love with her. As I stood there, watching her sleep peacefully, I couldn't help but think back to all the moments that had led us here. The late-night conversations under the stars, the shared laughter over silly jokes, the comforting hugs during tough times. Every moment had been a brick in the wall of emotions that now stood tall between us. I had always known I was different, that my feelings for Lily went beyond the typical sibling bond. But it was only recently, as I began to explore my identity more deeply, that I realized I was in love with her. The realization had hit me like a freight train. It was a warm summer evening, and we were sitting on the porch, watching the sunset paint the sky with hues of orange and pink. Lily had turned to me, her eyes sparkling with unshed tears, and confessed that she felt lost, that she didn't know who she was or what she wanted in life. In that moment, I wanted nothing more than to hold her, to tell her that she was perfect just the way she was, and that I loved her more than words could express. But I couldn't. I was frozen, paralyzed by the fear of what she might think, of how she might react. And so, I had kept my secret buried deep within me, letting it fester and grow until it consumed me entirely. I had tried to distract myself, to focus on other things, but nothing could fill the void that Lily's absence left in my heart. I had even tried dating other people, hoping that I could find someone who made me feel the way Lily did. But it was no use. No one could compare to her. No one could make me feel as alive, as complete as she did. As I stood there, watching her sleep, I knew that I couldn't keep this secret any longer. I needed to tell her the truth, no matter the consequences. I needed to know if she felt the same way, if there was even a chance that she could love me the way I loved her. And so, with a deep breath, I reached out and gently shook her shoulder, whispering her name. "Lily," I said, my voice barely above a whisper, "I need to talk to you." As Lily stirred and slowly opened her eyes, I felt a wave of panic wash over me. What if she didn't feel the same way? What if this confession ruined everything we had? But it was too late to turn back now. I had to see this through, no matter the outcome. "Hey," she murmured, rubbing her eyes and propping herself up on her elbows. "What's going on? Is everything okay?" I took a deep breath, trying to steady my nerves. "Lily, there's something I need to tell you, something important." She sat up fully now, her expression shifting from sleepy confusion to genuine concern. "What is it, Alex? You're scaring me." I sat down on the edge of her bed, my heart still pounding in my chest. "Lily, I don't know how to say this, so I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm in love with you. I have been for a long time." There was a moment of stunned silence. Lily's eyes widened in shock, and she stared at me as if she couldn't believe what she was hearing. I braced myself for the worst, expecting her to recoil in disgust or anger. But instead, she reached out and took my hand, her grip firm and steady. "Alex," she said softly, her voice barely above a whisper, I don't know what to say. I never expected this. I never thought you felt this way." I looked down at our intertwined hands, feeling a glimmer of hope. I know it's a lot to take in, and I understand if you don't feel the same way, but I had to tell you, I couldn't keep it a secret any longer." Lily was quiet for a moment, her eyes searching mine as if she was trying to read my soul. And then, to my utter astonishment, she leaned in and kissed me. It was a soft, gentle kiss, but it sent a shockwave through my entire being. I pulled back, my eyes wide with surprise. "Lily, what? What does this mean?" I stammered, my mind racing with a million questions. She smiled, a soft, tender smile that made my heart flutter. "It means that I love you too, Alex. I've loved you for a long time, but I never thought it was possible. I never thought you could feel the same way." In that moment, it felt like the world had shifted on its axis. Everything I had ever known, ever believed, was turned upside down. But at the same time, it felt so incredibly right. It was as if a missing piece of my soul had finally clicked into place, and I was whole again. But as quickly as that feeling of euphoria washed over me, it was replaced by a cold, hard reality. Our love was forbidden, taboo. Society would never accept us, and our family would be torn apart. The thought sent a chill down my spine, and I looked at Lily, my eyes filled with fear. "Lily, what are we going to do? Our family, our friends, they'll never understand. They'll never accept us." Lily's expression turned serious, and she squeezed my hand tightly. "I know, Alex, I know it won't be easy, but we can't deny our feelings any longer. We have to be true to ourselves, no matter what the consequences." And so, with a mixture of fear and exhilaration, we embarked on a journey that would change our lives forever. We decided to keep our love a secret, to hide it from the world until we were ready to face the storm that would inevitably come our way. But little did we know, the storm was already brewing, and it was about to hit us with full force. As the days turned into weeks, Lily and I navigated our new reality with a mix of exhilaration and trepidation. We stole moments together whenever we could, a quick kiss in the hallway, a lingering touch as we passed each other in the kitchen, whispered, "I love yous," under the cover of darkness. Our love was a secret, hidden away from the prying eyes of the world, but it was also the most real and tangible thing either of us had ever experienced. We created a private world for ourselves, a sanctuary where we could be truly free. Late at night, after our parents had gone to bed, we would sneak into each other's rooms, sharing stories, dreams, and fears. We talked about everything and nothing, our conversations flowing effortlessly as we explored the depths of our feelings for each other. It was during these stolen moments that I truly understood what it meant to be in love, to be seen, understood, and accepted completely. But even as we reveled in our newfound happiness, the weight of our secret began to bear down on us. We lived in constant fear of being discovered, of our love being exposed to the harsh judgment of the world. Every whispered conversation, every stolen kiss, was tinged with the knowledge that we were walking a dangerous line. We knew that if our family found out, it would shatter everything we held dear. One evening, as we sat on the roof of our house, watching the stars twinkle above us, Lily turned to me with a look of determination in her eyes. "Alex, we can't keep living like this. We can't keep hiding our love forever. We need to tell our parents. We need to be honest with them." I felt a surge of panic rise within me. "Lily, are you sure? What if they don't understand? What if they reject us?" Lily took my hand, her grip firm and reassuring. "I know it's scary, Alex, but we can't keep living in fear. We have to trust that our love is strong enough to face whatever comes our way. And maybe, just maybe, they'll surprise us. Her words resonated deep within me, and I knew she was right. We couldn't keep living in the shadows, afraid of our own feelings. We had to take a stand, to be true to ourselves and to our love. And so, with a deep breath, I nodded, agreeing to face the unknown together. The next day, we sat our parents down in the living room, our hearts pounding with a mix of fear and anticipation. As we began to explain our feelings, I could see the shock and confusion in their eyes. It was a moment that felt both surreal and painfully real, as if time had slowed down and every word we spoke carried the weight of the world. Our mother was the first to speak, her voice trembling with emotion. I don't understand. How can this be, your sisters? Our father remained silent, his expression unreadable. The tension in the room was palpable, and I could feel the weight of their judgment pressing down on us. But Lily and I stood our ground, our hands clasped tightly together, a silent promise that we would face this storm together. As the conversation unfolded, it became clear that our parents were struggling to accept our love. They spoke of societal norms, of family expectations, and of the potential backlash we would face. But through it all, Lily and I remained steadfast, our love unwavering. We explained that we understood the challenges ahead, but that we were willing to face them together. In the end, our parents agreed to support us, albeit reluctantly. They acknowledged that our love was real and that we deserved to be happy, even if it meant defying societal norms. It was a bittersweet victory, one that left us both relieved and heartbroken. We had won their support, but at what cost? As we navigated the complexities of our new reality, Lily and I found solace in each other's arms. We knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but we also knew that our love was strong enough to face whatever came our way. And so, with a mixture of hope and trepidation, we stepped into the unknown, ready to embrace our love and all that it entailed. But little did we know, our journey was far from over. Just as we thought we had weathered the storm, a new challenge emerged, one that would test the very foundations of our love and force us to confront the true depths of our feelings for each other. Just as Lily and I began to find our footing, navigating our new reality with cautious optimism, life threw us another curveball. It started with a seemingly innocuous event. A letter arrived in the mail, addressed to both of us. The handwriting was unfamiliar, and the postmark indicated it had been sent from a small town neither of us had ever heard of. Intrigued, we opened it together, our eyes scanning the neatly typed words that would forever change the course of our lives. The letter was from a woman named Margaret, who claimed to be our biological mother. The revelation hit us like a freight train. We had always known we were adopted, but our adoptive parents had been open and loving, providing us with a stable and nurturing home. The idea that our biological mother was reaching out to us now, after all these years, was both shocking and deeply unsettling. Margaret's letter was filled with heartfelt apologies and explanations. She spoke of a difficult past, of circumstances beyond her control that had forced her to give us up for adoption. She expressed her deep regret and her longing to reconnect with us, to be a part of our lives in whatever way we would allow. It was a lot to take in, and Lily and I found ourselves grappling with a whirlwind of emotions, confusion, anger, curiosity, and a profound sense of loss. As we sat in stunned silence, the letter clutched tightly in our hands, I turned to Lily, my eyes filled with tears. "What do we do?" How do we even begin to process this? Lily's expression was a mix of shock and determination. We have to meet her, Alex. We have to hear her side of the story. Maybe it will help us understand. Maybe it will give us some closure. The thought of meeting our biological mother filled me with a mix of excitement and dread. What if she didn't accept our love? What if she rejected us all over again? But at the same time, I knew Lily was right. We needed to face this head-on, to confront our past and embrace whatever truths it held. And so, with a deep breath, we decided to reach out to Margaret. We wrote her a letter, expressing our shock and our willingness to meet her. It was a tentative step, a cautious foray into the unknown, but it felt like the right thing to do. The days that followed were a blur of emotions and preparations. We told our adoptive parents about the letter, and while they were initially shocked, they supported our decision to meet Margaret. They understood the complexities of our situation and offered their unwavering love and support, reminding us that no matter what, we would always be their daughters. The day of the meeting finally arrived, and Lily and I found ourselves standing on the porch of a quaint little house, our hearts pounding with a mix of anticipation and fear. As the door opened and Margaret stood before us, her eyes filled with tears, I felt a surge of emotion wash over me. She looked so much like us, her features a mirror image of our own. It was a surreal moment, one that felt both deeply personal and strangely detached. Margaret welcomed us into her home with open arms, her voice trembling with emotion as she spoke of her past and her longing to reconnect with us. She told us of her struggles, of the circumstances that had led her to give us up for adoption, and of her deep regret. It was a raw and emotional conversation, one that left us both shaken and deeply moved. As the day wore on, we found ourselves opening up to Margaret, sharing our own stories and our journey as a couple. To our surprise, she listened with an open mind and a compassionate heart. She expressed her support for our love, acknowledging the challenges we faced and offering her unwavering acceptance. It was a moment of profound healing, one that allowed us to begin to mend the fractured pieces of our past. But even as we found solace in our newfound connection with Margaret, we knew that our journey was far from over. The complexities of our love and our family dynamics were still very real, and we would continue to face challenges and obstacles along the way. But with each other's support and the love of our family, both biological and adoptive, we knew that we could face whatever came our way. As we drove home that evening, the setting sun casting a warm glow over the horizon, I turned to Lily, my heart filled with gratitude and love. Thank you for being by my side, Lily. Thank you for loving me, for supporting me, and for being my rock through all of this. Lily smiled, her eyes shining with unshed tears. Always, Alex, always. And so, with a renewed sense of purpose and a deepened understanding of our love, we stepped into the next chapter of our lives, ready to face whatever challenges and triumphs lay ahead. Our love story was far from conventional, but it was ours, real, raw, and deeply profound. And in that moment, I knew that no matter what the future held, we would face it together, our love unwavering and our bond unbreakable. As the months passed, Lily and I continued to navigate the complexities of our love and our evolving family dynamics. Our relationship with Margaret blossomed, and she became an integral part of our lives, offering her support and love unconditionally. Our adoptive parents, too, stood by us, their initial shock giving way to acceptance and pride in our courage to live authentically. It was a journey filled with ups and downs, but through it all, our love remained a beacon of strength and resilience. One crisp autumn afternoon, as the leaves turned shades of gold and crimson, Lily and I found ourselves back on the roof of our house, the place where we had shared so many dreams and fears. The air was cool, but the warmth of our love kept us comfortable. We sat side by side, our hands entwined, looking out at the world that had once seemed so daunting but now felt full of possibilities. Lily turned to me, her eyes sparkling with a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Alex, there's something I've been thinking about, something I want to ask you." I looked at her, my heart fluttering with anticipation. "What is it, Lily?" She took a deep breath, her grip on my hand tightening. "Alex, will you marry me? Will you be my partner, my love, my everything, for the rest of our lives?" Tears welled up in my eyes as I stared at her, my heart swelling with love and joy. "Yes, Lily, 1,000 times yes." In that moment, it felt like the world had stopped spinning, and it was just the two of us, suspended in a bubble of pure happiness. We had faced so many challenges, so many obstacles, but we had emerged stronger and more in love than ever. Our journey had been anything but conventional, but it was ours, and it was beautiful. As we began to plan our future together, we knew that our love story was far from over. There would be more challenges, more trials, but we were ready to face them head-on together. Our love was a testament to the power of authenticity, of being true to oneself, and of embracing love in all its forms. And so, as we stood on the precipice of a new chapter in our lives, we looked back on our journey with a sense of awe and gratitude. From the shocking revelation of our feelings to the complexities of our family dynamics, every moment had shaped us, had made us who we were. Our love was secret, but it was so real, so profound, and so worth every challenge we had faced. As we embark on this new adventure, we invite you to join us, to be a part of our journey, and to celebrate love in all its forms. Subscribe to our channel to follow our story, to watch our videos, and to share your favorite parts with us. Your support means the world to us, and we can't wait to see where this journey takes us next. Thank you for being a part of our story. Thank you for embracing love, for championing authenticity, and for believing in the power of being true to oneself. Our journey is far from over, and we can't wait to share every moment with you. So stay tuned and remember, love is love, and it is always worth fighting for.